Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Grand Slam. This is the Series 2 round of 16. But wait! Weren't there going to be lots and lots of competitors taking part in this year's competition? Yes, there were. And there was a full pre-round of 16 fight card setup to find out who would take part in the final stage. How did these robots get here? Which robots are here? Well, Anderson 9132 is going to take us through the road to Armageddon.
Thank you very much, Woodrow. It's a pleasure to be here, and yes, we are now at the top 16. These 16 machines have battled relentlessly, caused chaos and suffered battle scars. Whether it be via a 4-0 win record or fighting their way through redemption, I think we can all agree these machines have earned the right to be here. Despite starting with 10 seeds when this series began, all these robots have been ranked 1 to 16 from this point depending on their performances in the fight cards. The fight cards have definitely opened up the field this series, giving us plenty of twists and turns along the way. But no one, and I mean no one, could have ever predicted reigning champion Shadowcat failing to make it this far. Despite two very convincing wins against Gently Does It and Thermidor, they didn't perform well enough for a direct place in the top 16, only going 2-2. And in the last chance rumble, their flipper was torn off by Ironside 2 before Ripper disposed of them. That was a shock. But alas, we have no time to dwell on that now, as we take a trip down memory lane and remind ourselves of how these 16 machines got this far. First up, ranked 16th, it's Scraptor. Rookies in this series, they didn't have a great start, losing to Ripper after being chucked about, and then Storm 2 blew them away, putting them at 0-2. But they entered the Desperado tournament and suddenly woke up, first crunching and toasting Kipper before sending the fish flying out of the arena by the spinning drum. Then they used a similar tactic against Sabretooth Evo, using the drum to their advantage before pitting Gabe Stroud's machine. And in the Desperado final, Tornado's anti-crusher web couldn't help them escape its fate, allowing Scraptor to secure the 16th rank. Next, ranked 15 in this bracket, it's Ripper. They started strong, beating the previously mentioned Scraptor, but then suffered at the hand of number 7 seeds Apollo and number 10 seeds Carbide. They also struggled against the spinning drum of 50-50, but managed to pull it back, flipping them out of the arena. Going 2-2, they qualified for the last chance rumble, which they won after beating reigning champion Shadowcat, Ironside 2, Dan Tomkia, Thermidor, and even getting revenge on number 10 seeds Carbide. In at 14 we have Terraphobia. They were responsible for perhaps the most destructive KO of the series, crushing Dead Moose so much it internally combusted. They also had no problems in crushing Kipper, even if they did lose their heads in the fight. However, a couple of losses to Toron 2 and Dan Tomkia meant they only went 2-2, so they had to fight in the Rookie Rumble against 50-50 and Heavy Steel Terror. They won that fight, snapping up the 14th ranking, despite losing their head again. Ranked 13, unlucky for some, it's the winner of the Fight Miss Annihilator, Tempest. They met their match against number 5 seeds Thor, being sent to the pit of oblivion. But they also caused some upsets during their campaign, beating number 10 seeds Carbide, upending the former Robot Wars champions. They also beat number 8 seeds Tornado, despite losing their weaponry, and Orbital, feeding them to Matilda, going 3-1. Free shipping, the special package from the USA, is ranked 12 after going 3-1. They upset crowd favourites Aftershock, sending them 6 feet under. They also dominated Dead Moose before taking out fellow international competitor King Cobra, with their only loss being to Unicorn. Speaking of, ranked 11 is Unicorn with the mighty Flipper. As previously mentioned, they beat Free Shipping and also finished off King Cobra, turning it into a grass snake, and Smoke with this fantastic 1 in a million KO flip. However, a loss to Ironside 2 saw their flipper turned inside out. Have they fixed it in time for the top 16? In at number 10, it's the legendary Chaos 2. They were seeded 4th for the competition and lived up to it, beating number 3 seeds Bite Force, effortlessly chucking Bite Force out in what you could consider the 3rd and 4th place playoff of Grand Slam 1. Then they beat Big Nipper, who lost their claws midway through the fight, and Donald Thump. No amount of money could save him from that. Toron 2, however, ripped off their backplate, smashed them with their spinner, and eventually kicked the 2-time Robot Wars champion out of the arena, meaning Chaos 2 went 3-1. Firestorm, ranked number 9, were on a mission this series after their early loss last time. However, they were unlucky against Heavy Steel Terror, getting too close to House Robot Crisis. They came back from that but lost to the eventual judge's decision. They came back strongly though, dominating their battle against number 3 seeds Bite Force, controlling the fight and being the more aggressive for certain. They also had no issues against Ironside, sending them down the pit. X Factor also proved to be no match for them whatsoever, again being summoned to the pit, with Firestorm going 3-1. Halfway through the running, ranked number 8 is Thor. They started this series seeded 5th and definitely got some lovely shots on Kipper. I love a bit of chopped and smoked fish. Tauron 2 however gave them a heck of a beating, even tearing off their axe. But they made up for it against Tempest, chopping them into pieces before beating number 8 seed Tornado going 3-1, securing them a top 8 ranking. In at rank number 7, it's the Legends of Robot Combat Behemoth. They got to show their power against Gently Does It, flipping over the big boy Crisis. They also displayed great driving control and aggression throughout on their opponent, winning the fight. They also caused an upset, beating number 9 seed Storm 2, flipping it out of the arena, and despite losing to Thermidor after being flipped over the big wall, another victory over Sabretooth Evo gave them the 3-1 win record they needed to get a place in the top 16. Ranked number 6, it's Surprise Package King Bee or Bust. I don't think anyone expected such a performance from Simon Harrison's machine, but it continued to turn heads, beating King Cobra with a little help from the arena, and Nuts 4, who just couldn't get away from the power of King Bee, even with their mini-bots trying their hardest. Then they beat Terahertz, managing to withstand the axe and win on the judge's decision, and X Factor using great control and aggression to win another judge's decision, becoming one of the 6 robots to go 4-0 this series. Coming in at number 5, it's the final Robot Wars champions, Eruption. They stormed into the series, defeating number 8 seeds Tornado. They couldn't get themselves away from that. Then they rekindled their rivalry with Aftershock with one of the best 1 in a million hit KOs I've ever seen. Fantastic. Kipper meanwhile was no match for the mighty Flipper, and whilst Boy Racer tried, they also fell victim to the mighty power of Eruption. Ranked number 4, it's Robot Wars Series 8 champions and Grand Slam Series 1 Grand finalists Apollo. They started the series seeded 7th and definitely proved they were more worthy than that. They had no problem sending Orbital into space, nor did they struggle against HST, easily flipping them backwards and forwards. Ripper proved to be a tougher opponent, but it was only a matter of time before Apollo brought it back. Ironside 2 however gave them one hell of a bout, and it looked like Apollo was only going to go 3-1, but they came back strongly and eventually got Ironside 2 out of the arena after a close battle. What a display by Apollo, they're ones to watch out for sure. Coming in ranked number 3, it's the gleaming but ghastly Rapid. They were happy to show us that they meant business this series, not only disposing of Boy Racer out of the arena and Robot Wars veterans Dan Tom Kier by the judges, but also getting revenge on number 10 seeds Carbide. The Robot Wars Series 9 champions didn't know what hit them. And if that wasn't enough, they then beat reigning champion Shadowcat, flipping them relentlessly, and whilst there were a few near misses, they won a judge's decision. Watch out for these guys. In at number 2, it's the deadly Tauron 2. Number 4 seeds Chaos, who didn't stand a chance against that bar spin, and ordered number 5 seeds Thor getting torn apart. They also gave severe punishment to Terraphobia, winning on a judge's decision, and then pummeled Nuts 4 and its mini-bots, happily sending them flying all over the place and causing serious damage to Nuts 4, making them go 4-0 and securing the 2nd rank. And last, but by no means least, it's the Grand Slam Series 1 runner-up, Extremist 3. They were seeded 2nd at the beginning of the series, and for good reason. They used their 3-tipped spinner to a good effect throughout their campaign, chewing up Sabretooth Evo for a start. Then they gave the same treatment to Dan Tom Kier, and whilst Dan Tom Kier gave them a good battle, it wasn't enough, eventually being incapacitated. Then we got a demonstration of just how destructive that spinner is, as they not only tore apart Big Nipper's weapon, but also their wheels. But the real damage was seen in this fight against number 9 seed Storm 2, in a battle that can only be described as a morbid dissection of the latter, with the Extremist tearing it limb from limb, and last time's runners up looked deadly, earning the top rank. So that's our top 16 machines of the series, now ready to duke it out. I can't wait to see how things go from here. Back to World of Woodrow for the round of 16.
A big thank you to Anderson9132 for putting all of that together. You are a star. Now we must look ahead to the round of 16. Who will be fighting who? Well, let me tell you. Unicorn will be facing off Apollo in tonight's first match, followed by Tempest and King Bee or Bust. Later on, Free Shipping will be going up against Extremist 3 and Firestorm 6 will be taking on Thor. Meanwhile, next week, Tauron will be fighting off against Eruption. Ripper and Terraphobia will be going at it, as will Rapid and Behemoth. And finally, Chaos 2 and Scraptor will compete for the final place in the round of 8. So with all that said and done, let's introduce tonight's first fight. First of all, Unicorn, who went 3-1 this series, a very good showing from them. They are a very effective flipper, but they did come apart against Ironside. It could be telling. They're not the only ones, as Apollo also came apart at the hands of Ironside. However, they did manage to throw them out of the arena. So does that put Apollo as the favourites here? Who knows, we shall have to wait and see. And in the arena for the house robots, more scary than a nursery sandpit after break time, it is Matilda. This is for a place in the round of 8, only one can go through, but which will it be?
3, 2, 1, activate.
So here we go, the two flippers lining up, and it's Unicorn who gets underneath Apollo straight away, but now flipped upside down themselves, and Unicorn flipped across the arena by Apollo there, retaliating, getting their own back, very much so. Unicorn getting flipped once again by Apollo, trading blows here. Unicorn flip Apollo across the arena and very close to that Uta zone. They'll want to watch out for that. Flipper matches tend to go one of two ways. Either it goes the full 3 minutes, or more likely one robot ends up out of the arena. Which will this fight be? I wonder. The arena button has been pressed and the drum of doom is spinning. Unicorn with a big flip against the arena sidewall. We've seen many robots fly over that as well this season. Who will be the next? I wonder, will it be one of these two machines? Judging from the quality of this fight, it's a chance. Unicorn now into the CPZ with Matilda. What will Matilda do? Yeah, just kind of right them, sure. Why not, Matilda? Why not? It's not like you're on the payroll or anything. Unicorn coming in, trying to get a flip on Apollo, but Apollo get the better of that exchange, and Gravity being Unicorn's worst nightmare here, coming crashing back down to the arena floor. And that must be jolting something loose on the inside. A good flip, though, from Unicorn as Apollo is sent flying across the arena once more. These two robots just coming back at each other. One attack, then the other attacks, then one attack, then the other attacks. Very back and forth. These two robots now both upside down. Unicorn with a push on the side of Apollo, and there they go. Out of the arena. I said it before, one robot will end up probably out of the arena. It was Apollo who went. Unicorn, they go through to the round of 8 and celebrating. Rightly so, it was not an easy feat. But they've done it, and they are through. Well done to Unicorn. Taking out
Cease.
the very much fancied Apollo, I have to say. A visual confirmation then that Unicorn is the first of our 8 robots fighting tonight to make it through to the round of 8. We will see them fighting again in just a little bit against the winner of our next battle, the number 13 seed versus number 6, Tempest versus King Bee or Bust, and it's that fight we're going to be talking about in just a few moments. Just a reminder, later on tonight we have free shipping versus Extremist 3 and Firestorm 6 against Thor. But before all that, Tempest versus King Bee or Bust, and let's start with Tempest. This dual action weapon robot, lifter and vertical spinner on the front there. They did very well to get this far, which should come as no surprise as they were the Fight Annihilator champions. Their opponents, King Bee or Bust, were also a bit of a surprise package this series. This pushing and lifting robot has gone all the way to being undefeated. That is saying something, but will that reign continue? And in the arena for the house robots, these two robots are in for a bit of a rough ride. It's Growler. Once more onto the fold, these two robots, King Bee or Bust and Tempest, only one space in the round of 8.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Here we go then, Tempest is in underneath King Bee, but King Bee driving away, been very good at driving all season. This is an excellent attack though from Tempest, getting them overturned and pushing them onto the floor flipper, a little half spiral through the air, some excellent results, but not that one. Tempest caught on the floor flipper as well, very back and forth, quite evenly matched perhaps. On the spikes there was King Bee. Growler coming in for a push and a shove, a little bump there from the good boy. He's such a good boy, very well trained. House trained, don't you know? Tempest caught on the spikes once again. So this is very back and forth. King Bee coming up with the retaliation. They won't want to be upside down, and Tempest helping them out of that. predicament there, turning them back onto the right way up. Tempest now back in underneath and trying to get a hold of King Bee, trying to lift them up, not succeeding, but kind of grappling them at this point, using that weapon. Very versatile weapon is that one on Tempest. They can lift, they can grab, they can spin, they can do all sorts of things, and they can definitely put King Bee on the spikes, and that's exactly where they were put again and again there. Tempest using the arena hazards to their advantage, and that will really benefit them as they push King Bee up against the wall. Quite a heavy machine to be lifting up, especially on the spikes. It's not an ideal way of attacking. Growler coming in for a little push and shove, now back on the floor flipper. Tempest managing to get them all around. There's a bit of damage on the arena floor. I'm not sure who that is from. I think good money would be off at the back of King Bee, it looks as though, and Tempest is trying to get a lift in. Ooh, very close to lifting King Bee just out of the arena, but King Bee trying to get down, and they do. They survive that altercation. Tempest really doing very well against King Bee here. The undefeated machine is on the back foot, I would say, if this goes to a judge's decision. However, they are trying to push back. Tempest in the corner patrol zone now with Growler, and a massive slam. Growler, he's upside down. Is he wanting a belly rub? I think he might be wanting a belly rub. That's the story I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it. Tempest and King Bee, however, continue to fight while Growler is indisposed, caught on the floor flipper again. Now both robots up the right way. King Bee coming in with a side-on assault of Tempest. Tempest pushing back, though, into the drum that is not currently spinning, but lifting is Tempest. Lifting again. Can they get King Bee down? Can King Bee get themselves down? Tempest lifting and out. Tempest, the underdogs, go through and they take out the undefeated King Bee or bust. They are going to be disappointed, but Tempest will be very happy with that, I'm sure. So a bit of an upset there, but King Bee or bust, they fall out. Tempest move on to fight Unicorn later tonight. And in the meantime, we have two more fantastic fights for you. Coming up in a little bit, we have Firestorm 6, the 9th seed, going up against Thor, the number 8 seed. But first, we have free shipping against Extremist 3, the number 1 seed, is in the arena. And we're going to be talking about them right about now. Free shipping, first off, a very good machine. They've done very, very well this season to go 3-1. Their only loss to now quarter-finalists Unicorn, of course. This lifter is going to have its work cut out, however, against the number 1 seeds, Extremist 3. They were number 2 seeds going into the full competition, now number 1 seeds overall, as they went undefeated in the pre-16 tournament. This could be a very destructive battle. And in the arena for the House Robots, banned from John Lewis adverts for endangering wildlife, it's Kodiak. So far, Extremist 3 has left a trail of destruction in its wake. Will free shipping be the next victim? Or their foil?
3, 2, 1, activate.
Extremist 3, so very quick up to speed, free shipping. Those forks on the front just negated the spinning blade. I'm not sure, with them up, that they will do exactly the same. Free shipping need to get them down because they did a superb job of just stopping that spinner dead. Free shipping now caught on the arena spikes. Extremist coming in for a slam, using that spinner, getting a good hit, but I'm not seeing any damage off of free shipping, and free shipping are trying to get those forks into that spinner mechanism, and they seem to be doing reasonably well at it until that point. Free shipping caught on the floor flipper, and again flung across the arena that time. Maybe they were trying to self-right, I'm not sure, but they are not in one piece anymore, and there's a piece of them on the arena floor and a massive slam to the side of them from Extremist. They are back on their wheels now, however, and seem unfazed by this crippling blow to them. They are tenacious, to say the least, and lifting Extremist up, a famous attack, and flipping them, turning Extremist over. They are doing superbly well against the spinner here. Free shipping with the forks, just lifting, negating the spinner. Now caught on the spikes. Extremist is, however, righted and coming in for another attack and caught on the floor flipper again. And that's some quite sizable damage to free shipping. They are now on their side, and there are bits of them laying all over the arena. A massive hit there sends that piece flying. The frame is all bent and buckled on top, and it was going so well. But oh, good God, another smash, another hit Extremists, I think, are a little bit angry that they've been walked over for quite this long in this fight, to be perfectly honest. And now just coming in, attack after attack, stop. He's already dead. There should be a count out at some point, I'd imagine, but Extremists seem to be on top form. I'm not seeing any life from free shipping. And no, that rather confirms it. They are back on their wheels, but not moving in the slightest. Extremists coming in for another attack, pushing them somewhat onto the pit of oblivion. The siren goes, and that's probably the safest place for them. Free shipping down, and Extremists move on. Free shipping stood up to the damage so very well until such a point as they didn't anymore. Extremist 3 move on to the round of 8 there to face the winner of our 4th and final round of 16 match for tonight. Firestorm 6, the number 9 seeds, will be facing off against the number 8 seeds in Thor. These two machines, both veterans of the Grand Slam, both veterans of robot combat in general. And it's Firestorm we're going to start off by talking about. The front hinge flipper has seen its way to the top 16 after a disappointing last season. However, a 3-1 record, they should be pretty happy with that. As should Thor, who also finished the pre-16 tournament on 3-1. Did very well all the way through. They should have done as well as the number 5 seeds coming into Series 2. Who will win this one though? And in the arena for the house robots, he quit the quarry to come and quarrel with the competitors. It's Shunt. Two robots at 3-1, but one of their stories are about to end. Only one can go through.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
This could have all the makings of a very good fight, and it's Thor with the early attacks getting in underneath Firestorm 6, who drives away now, having been knocked on the head a few times. A good flip there from Firestorm across the arena. Hitting a wall was Thor, but they are built tougher than that. They can take those hits, or at least they should be able to. However, the hits from Shunt are something completely different, and they're turned over and now having to try and get away, coming back for an attack on Firestorm. The retaliation now from Thor, a good slam into the arena wall. This very back and forth so far. Firestorm riding up the front wedge of Thor. I didn't think that would be the case, but that is what is happening in this fight, and caught very briefly underneath the sidewall. Very strange to see Firestorm stuck in such a way. Now pushed again around the arena is Thor by Firestorm, who flicks them up against the Uta zone, but not out of the arena just yet. This fight has plenty more ground to go, I reckon. A good jab there from Thor from the axe, swinging it onto the top of Firestorm, but again, Firestorm is designed to take them hits. If it couldn't handle a little axe blow here and there, it wouldn't be fit for our war zone. Some good slams though from that axe on the top, and that is all aggression points being scored by Thor. That isn't, however, Firestorm with a good push across the arena and flipping them onto the flame pit and now into a sidewall. Thor coming back with the retaliation. Once again, very back and forth this fight. Every time Firestorm attacks, Thor then attacks, and it is a very good fight so far. I thought it probably would be. Having to self-right down from the sidewall was Thor, just then caught on the floor flipper. Firestorm should have watched out for that. The flipper opened on Firestorm with no robot around. Was that a malfunction? Was it a misfire? Who knows? I'm not sure. I'm not the Firestorm captain, but I know the people that are, and I bet they're wondering what's going on as well. Meanwhile, Thor caught on the spike pit and now flipped against the side wall. If it were me being a judge, and God forbid I should be, I was going to say it's Thor on top, but Firestorm now caught on the spikes, having been turned over by Shunt. The house robot getting into the action. They are in the CPZ, and by all means, Shunt, you can definitely do that. The Firestorm flipper, it is their weakness that it can get stuck open, and if that is that for Firestorm, Thor could be going through here. They are not closing that flipper. They are not getting down, and I'm not sure what's happening. Yes, they are. Managing to drive off of the wall, and now the flipper shuts. Okay, so maybe Firestorm not quite as badly damaged as we first thought. Not sure. They'll have to keep watching out for that as this fight progresses. However, Thor caught in the corner once again, and a good push, and the drum is spinning, and Firestorm is pushing Thor into the top corner now, showing them all 4 corners of the arena, including that drum. Big pop off of the drum there. Some damage perhaps to Thor. By the looks of things, no, not yet. We are nearing the end of this fight. It has been one for the ages. Thor propped up on top of Firestorm. That flipper opening and another. But that is it. Firestorm and Thor take a bow. That was quite the fight, and it goes to the judges. Well, I said earlier in the fight that I thought Thor was on top, but I think Firestorm managed to turn it around in the closing stages of that match. Lots of good pushes and attacks from Firestorm, flipping Thor all around the arena. Thor got a few good axe blows in, but it was Firestorm, I think, in control of the majority of this match, dictating the pace, pushing them around. Thor managing to get a good few pushbacks, however. This is going to be a very close decision, and I'm glad it's not me who has to make it. This could go either way. It really, really could. Well, the judges have made their decision. They wanted me to let you know that they hated making the decision. It is one of the toughest they've ever had to make. But the winner and going through to the round of 8 is Firestorm 6. Thor go out, but kudos to both of them. That was a truly spectacular fight. So Firestorm 6 will be fighting Extremist 3 in just a short while. They'll need to do some repairs before then. But they've got time, as Unicorn will be fighting Tempest in the round of 8 first up. Unicorn then saw off Apollo in the last round, did very well to do so. A very back and forth fight, but up against a very different opponent in Tempest. Got a flipper and a spinner. More damage potentially can be caused, and that spinner has been fearsome. But the flipper is the main thing to worry about, I would say, on Tempest. It has seen off many opponents, including King Be or Bust in the last round. Out of the arena, could we see it again? And in the arena for the house robots, removed from the arcades for having too realistic gameplay, it's time for Crisis and Kodiak. The two rookie bots have done well to get this far, but only one of them can make it through to the round of 4. Who will it be?
3, 2, 1, activate.
Off to a flying start, both of these machines, and it's Tempest who gets the better of Unicorn in the first instance. They couldn't quite get underneath Tempest, could Unicorn. They have done now, flipping them across and into the top corner. And a big flip there from Unicorn on Tempest, pushing them onto the floor flipper. Now upside down, having to self-right. Unicorn with another flip. And what is happening to Tempest? They're not getting up because their head has come off. Oh, good lord, out go the body of Tempest, and it's all over. Unicorn have won this fight in spectacular fashion. There goes the spinner and lifter out of the other side of the arena. And that is that. Now, what are they doing going after Crisis? That is dangerous. That is not a good idea. And don't they know? The house always wins. Well, I think the build-up to that fight was longer than the fight itself, but Tempest go out of two different sides of the arena. Unicorn, they move through to the round of 4. They are semi-finalists in Series 2, and they will be happy with that. But going into the arena next is our final fight of the evening, as Firestorm 6, the number 9 seeds, will face off against the number 1 seeds, Extremist 3. Can they form the upset and take out last year's runners-up? Well, Extremists are going to be hoping not, because they have been devastating this series on a complete destruction path to victory so far. Will that reign of terror continue as they face off against Firestorm? A front hinge flipper, a decent wedge, could be the foil to Extremist 3. They've done very well, 3-1 this season, but they have that loss on their record, and Extremists know they can exploit something. In the arena for the house robots, Ivory Traders beware, her tusks are made of metal. It's Matilda and Shunt. It's been knockout after knockout for Extremists, whereas Firestorm has had several judges' decisions. They're tenacious, and can they win this fight?
3, 2, 1,
So here we go for the final fight of the evening. It's Firestorm getting underneath Extremists first and foremost. Getting back up to speed is Extremist, but not being able to do any damage to Firestorm. Or I say that, the flipper panel is open. No, they've shut it again, and they're trying to flip Extremists over. Can they do it? Yes, they can, in a very fabulous fashion as well. Extremists overturned, caught on the floor flipper, and flipped away. Again, I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Firestorm Turning them back over though and caught on the arena spikes, and it's Firestorm controlling the pace of this battle early on. Matilda with a flip on Extremist 3. They're going to need to watch out. This is not going to be an easy battle, or is it? That was a massive hit to the back of Firestorm, and another, and a third. It's Rogue House Robot. Here comes Matilda, the back rear flywheel hitting both robots, now turning. Can she do any more damage? Can she cause any more upset, anguish? In this moment, it's the most we've seen Matilda do in ages. Clearly, she's put the sherry bottle away and is very serious about this fight. Well done, Matilda. Has caused quite a fair amount of problems for both machines here. Firestorm's flipper panel is still open. Extremist caught on the floor flipper there is upside down and unable to self-right, but they have wheels on their top in addition to this series design, and that is Firestorm upside down with the panel open. And in that position, I'm not sure they're getting back down. This could be it for Firestorm. They've done so well throughout this competition. Now on the spikes for Extremist, not sure what they're doing. Now over on the floor flipper, and I think they're trying to turn back over, and that's something they have been able to do. A big hit there from Extremist onto the flipper, and another, and they're out. And it's another KO win to Extremist 3, whose path of devastation continues to be littered with robot bodies. Extremist 3 through to another grand final episode. Well, the sparks flew, but the final ember has burnt out for Firestorm 6. They go out, and Extremist 3 will progress through to the semi-finals of Grand Slam 2. Very well done to them. Unicorn then, and Extremist 3. They are your two semi-finalists for this evening. Next time we will find out which other two robots will make it through to the semi-finals as we face the other half of the round of 16 and round of 8. Until then, goodbye.